You know those moments when you just can't believe what's happening? That was Naomi's afternoon at a fancy ice cream shop in Beverly Hills, just enjoying a vanilla cone with her 6-year-old daughter, Leia, when two cops suddenly show up and tell her to step away from her own child. Why? Because someone called them saying Naomi was kidnapping Leia. Naomi froze. What? She asked calmly, but inside her heart was pounding. This is my daughter, she said, steady but firm. The officers said they were following protocol, but the whole cafe went silent, everyone watching, some pulling out their phones to record. Here's the kicker. The caller was a white woman, decked out in designer sunglasses, who saw a black mother with a light-skinned child and decided something was wrong. Leia was clutching Naomi's hand, confused, whispering, "Mommy, what's happening?" Naomi knelt to her daughter and said gently, "Sometimes people make mistakes about families like ours, but we know who we are." Then she told the officers, "Call my husband, Blake Henderson. He'll prove everything." Blake's name carried weight, tech entrepreneur, philanthropist, well known in LA, and the officers' attitude shifted when they heard it. But Naomi didn't want it to take a powerful husband to prove she belonged with her own child. It shouldn't have to. As they waited, Naomi's mind drifted to all the times this happened before school events, where parents assumed she was a nanny, doctors' offices questioning her authority, grocery stores where strangers asked if she was babysitting. Every time she showed ID, explained herself, but it never stopped. The exhaustion was real. Back in the cafe, the caller was bragging to another customer about being a good citizen, warning about child trafficking. Naomi faced her directly. "What made you think I abducted my daughter?" The woman stammered, "Well, you just don't look like her mother." The cafe was watching. Some people left, others stayed, phones out. Naomi said quietly, "You have the right to call the police, but what you suspected was a mother and daughter enjoying ice cream. That's not suspicious, that's family." The woman muttered and left, saying she wouldn't come to that neighborhood anymore. "How do you explain racism to a 6-year-old?" Naomi whispered to Leia. "Some people made a choice to see danger where there was love." The younger officer looked uncomfortable. "Protocol," he mumbled. Naomi snapped. "This isn't protocol. It's profiling." Suddenly, Blake arrived. Tall, confident, furious. "What's going on?" he demanded, standing next to Naomi and holding her hand protectively. He asked why his wife and daughter were treated like criminals. Leia ran to him, confused and scared. The officers said they had a report of suspicious activity. Blake pointed out the caller was gone. "My wife, Dr. Naomi Henderson, child psychologist, Harvard grad, published author. You're treating her like a criminal because someone thought our family looked wrong." Blake pulled out his phone. "I'm calling my lawyer, the police chief, and the news. This ends today." The younger cop looked ready to vanish. The first tried to justify with protocol, but Blake shot back, "Your protocol is racist." Within minutes, the cafe was swarmed with lawyers, police supervisors, and reporters. Naomi sat quietly, showing birth certificates, pediatric records, even IVF papers proving she was Leia's biological mother. Her voice gained strength. "I carried her 9 months. I was in labor 14 hours. I've been her mother every day. Yet you let a stranger's racism turn me into a suspect." Asked about discrimination, Naomi said, "It happens all the time: school, doctors, stores, parks. People assume I'm a nanny or babysitter, ask invasive questions about adoption. I'm none of those things. I'm her mother. I work with children. But I'm treated like this because we don't look like what some expect family to look like." Blake squeezed her hand. "Today, someone decided a black woman couldn't be the mother of a light-skinned child. They called police to investigate a kidnapping, traumatizing a child and humiliating a family. The supervisor promised investigation, but Blake interrupted. This was harassment, not rights." Naomi stood tall. "I want accountability. No other family should go through this." She looked around: cameras, crowd, reporters. "This isn't just about us. It's about every family that doesn't fit the mold. We have the right to exist without proving our love." The story went viral fast. The caller, Marjorie Wellington, a Beverly Hills exec, faced public backlash and administrative leave. But Naomi's focus was on healing. The next morning, holding Leia, she said, sometimes people judge by what they see, not what's true. Leah, wise beyond her years, said, "Because you're brown and I'm not?" Naomi nodded. "Yes, baby. That's silly." Leah said simply, "You're still my mommy. I'm always your baby." Blake came in. Interview requests are crazy CNN, Good Morning America, today. Naomi smiled, set up one. Something real, something that reaches people. Days later, Naomi faced a national news anchor. Someone looked at my family and decided we didn't make sense. They jumped to the worst conclusion because we don't look alike. Asked how it made her feel. She said tired. Tired of proving I belong. Tired of carrying documents. Tired of explaining to my daughter why strangers doubt us. To the woman who called the police, Naomi said, "You traumatized a child and humiliated a family because of how we look. Being a concerned citizen doesn't mean policing families who don't match your expectations. But you have a chance now to learn, to grow, to do better. We all have biases. The question is, are you willing to face yours?" The clip got over 10 million views in less than a day. 3 years later, Naomi opened the Cuz Clearly Family Resource Center, funded by Blake's Foundation and donations inspired by their story. Families come in all shapes, same race, different races, biological, adopted, blended. What makes a family isn't how we look, but how we love, she told a crowd of advocates and teachers. Leah, now 7, cut the ribbon grinning. That night, Leah asked, "Mommy, are you famous now?" Naomi laughed. "Not famous, just someone who speaks up. Will you keep speaking up?" "As long as I need to." Naomi worked on her next book about family identity and the courage to exist authentically. She wrote, "The world saw us as a puzzle that didn't fit, but we always knew who we were. Love comes in different shades. Families are built with hearts, not matching DNA. Belonging isn't granted by others, it's carried inside." At the National Civil Rights Awards ceremony, Naomi said, "That day in the ice cream shop, someone tried to separate me from my daughter because of how we looked. But love doesn't come with a color chart. Family doesn't require matching pigment. Belonging is something inside you, not something others give you permission to feel." She looked out at the audience. Parents questioned, children confused, families told they don't fit. You belong. You are enough. You are family. No one gets to decide that but you. The standing ovation lasted 5 minutes. Later, tucking Leah into bed, Naomi said, "I'm glad it happened." Leah smiled sleepily. "Really? Why?" "Because now kids like us know they're not alone. And their mommies know they're not alone either. Sometimes the biggest battles aren't fought with fists, but with dignity and knowing who you are. Sometimes standing up changes the world for those who come after." So what about you? If Naomi's story moved you, what would you have done in that cafe? Speak up? Stay silent? Record? Tell me below, because justice is everyone's fight. If you believe no mother should have to prove her love, share this story. Like, subscribe, and let's keep the conversation going.